How's it going, guys? I'm CTM Amygdala and welcome back to another Call of Duty Warzone video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about some patch notes and an update that just recently happened today, which is going to be covering some weapon changes and some new general updates to the game. And I'm also going to have gameplay of the AMAX and the FARA in the background, which have both been nerfed in today's update. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe as we're on our way to 300 subscribers. So to start this video off, I'm going to be going over a new weapon, and I don't actually have it unlocked yet. However, this is going to be the Carve 2 tactical rifle, as we can see down here. This was just added in-game yesterday, and there is currently a bundle for it that has a special blueprint. And this is going to cost 1,200 Call of Duty points if you want to unlock it right away. There we go. So this is what the gun looks like. It's kind of boxy and has a long muzzle. But the gun, it's actually very good in standard Cold War, but I've heard it's just kind of okay in Warzone. But if you're a Cold War player, I definitely recommend picking this thing up, as it's... people are saying it's one of the top 3 guns in that game as of right now. So I definitely recommend trying to go for and unlock this gun if you're into standard multiplayer. Even Plunder, I would say this gun's really dominant, but for those longer ranges on the Warzone, this gun doesn't excel that much at that. But this is a very, very, very good standard multiplayer weapon. And now I'm going to be getting into the exact patch notes. So I apologize for the gameplay. I ended up only getting about 4 kills and was having trouble running into people this game, and then ended up dying to somebody sitting in a corner around the top 10. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about today's patch notes and the update that came with the game. So the first thing that we see here is that there's a glitch where some items are actually spawning in walls. So if you guys know any developers, be sure to reach out to them and let them know that we've got some items actually spawning inside of walls as of the update today. And then the other thing that we see is there's a new shotgun as floor loot, which is going to be the Howler. And this is because they actually got rid of the Street Sweeper as floor loot. So essentially the common, uncommon, rare, and epic versions of the Street Sweeper, which are going to be the white, green, blue, and purple, are all no longer as floor loot. And you can no longer get them out of chests either. The only version of the Street Sweeper which you can actually get out of a crate is going to be the gold one, and you can only get them out of gold crates. Other than that, they have replaced the floor loot shotgun with the Howler, which is going to come in gray and green variants, and it is possible to get a blue Howler out of blue crates. So now I'm going to start getting into the actual bug fixes before I actually talk about the changes that have come to the weapons. So they ended up fixing a couple of things. The first one of these is going to be they fixed some of the out of bound areas that players were actually glitching to outside of the map. So that's definitely a big one, with some players like getting under stadium and stuff. So all of that has been sorted out. And I know they did some in the last patch update, but they just did more of them to ensure that there's no way players are going to be getting outside of the map. And on top of that, they also fixed a bug with 4 different weapons. This is going to include the Cold War AK-47, the FARA 83, the XM4, and the RPD. And essentially what was going on with these weapons was the ADS move speed and firing move speed was being decreased while using the tactical stock, the SAS combat stock, and the Spetsnaz stocks, when the attachments should actually make it so the firing move speed and ADS move speed is being increased rather than decreased. So all that has been fixed up, and the stocks are now working as they should. And now I'm going to be getting into some of the actual weapon changes here. So I'm actually going to start with the attachments. And the first thing that we see with the attachments is that all of the stocks for Cold War weapons have actually had their aim down sight firing speed decreased, and their aim down sight move speed decreased by 10%. So there has just been an overall nerf to the stocks from Cold War weapons that just hits the firing move speed and the aim down sight move speed. And that goes for every single class setup, from assault rifles, SMGs, tac rifles, snipers, all of them. Stocks have been decreased and nerfed. And then for the optics, the Axle Arms 3x scope for the Cold War AK-47 has been improved. They didn't really give much detail other than the scope has been improved. And then for all of the snipers, the Combat Recon scope has had its bullet velocity multiplier increased by 12%, and its aim down sight idle sway multiplier has been decreased by 33%. So that's just going to make the snipers a lot better while using this attachment. So for the actual guns, they adjusted 5 different ones. This is going to include the CR56 AMAX, the FARA 83, the Street Sweeper, the Bullfrog, and the PPSH 41. And I was using the AMAX actually in this game, as you guys will see a little bit later in the video. And I feel like the gun's just as strong as it was before. You can't really tell much with the nerf. But essentially what they did to the AMAX, according to the patch notes, is they decreased the minimum damage from 32 to 31. So at the least, like the farthest distance, it's going to be doing 31 damage rather than 32 damage. So this gun's really not affected at all when it comes to like medium and close range. So that's definitely a good thing, and the AMAX still feels just as good as it was before. Now for the FARA, this one I feel like got hit a little bit harder. I wasn't actually able to get any kills within this video. You guys will see that I actually died while trying to use it on the guy. I was getting all the kills with the AMAX. Then when I whipped out the FARA, I actually ended up dying. So I can't really give a good prediction on how this gun is, but I did kind of feel like it was doing a little bit less damage. But essentially what they did with this gun was they decreased the headshot multiplier from 1.5 to 1.35. So they just kind of decreased that a little bit. And they also decreased the aim down sight move speed by 7%. And I definitely felt this a lot, as you guys will see later in the video. Now for the shotguns, they nerfed the Street Sweeper. And essentially it looks like what they did for this was they're trying to make it more of a aim down sight kind of gun rather than just being spray and pray. So they actually reduced the aim down sight speed. So you now aim down sights faster with the Street Sweeper, and you guys are probably going, what the heck, this gun was already really good. But essentially what they did was they increased the hip fire spread. So now if you're not aim down sights with it, your bullets are just going to go everywhere and they're not going to be hitting their target. So they're really making it so you have to aim down sight with the Street Sweeper now, which I think is a good buff or good like adjustment. I think this definitely needed it. And they also increased the recoil on the Street Sweeper. So aiming down sights with it is definitely going to help this gun a lot. So they also made some adjustments to the Bullfrog. And overall, I would say that they actually made this gun better rather than worse. So what they did exactly was they decreased the maximum damage from 34 to 32. So like up close, this gun's going to be doing a little bit less damage. However, they increased the damage range by 11%. So it's going to do more damage at longer ranges, even though it does less damage overall now. And they also increased the move speed by 1%. And they also increased the sprint out speed by 13%. So this gun is going to feel a lot faster. It's also going to have longer damage range potential, where it's going to do a little bit less damage to be a little bit more on par with the rest of the submachine guns. So I think that's really a really good like adjustment to this gun. And then last but not least, we have the PPSH 41. And this gun only got buffs. And I really think they didn't get the right buffs, however, because essentially what they did was they increased the maximum damage range by 4. And then they decreased the open bolt delay by 80%. So essentially what they did was they gave it more damage range, and they made it so you hit your target faster. Whereas I feel like the gun needs a increase in its damage rather than its range or how fast it shoots. But that's really going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.